Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for tuning in to the COVID-19 lockdown account. So today we've got Sam. Now, Sam is a busy wife and a very busy business owner right now. So, Sam, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing, Jerry?
I'm really, really good, very good. And you know what? I feel really great about this interview because I've had a little look at some of the stuff you've been doing online, and it's very uplifting stuff. So, for those people that are either listening or watching, give us a little breakdown of what you do.
So we run CanDo Hub, which is a day provision for adults with additional learning needs and disabilities in Swansea. We also run fitness classes, we run inclusive classes, and then we run disability-specific classes, again in Swansea, and then we support instructors around the country that want to upskill in inclusion or upskill in disability, so there can be more inclusive classes around the country. So it's pretty busy normally anyway, but now in lockdown it's even busier.
Okay, well, I saw some
So
of the
we've
stuff that you
got
do.
it's crazy. So basically our day provision finished, it closed its doors on the 17th of March, and our members were very worried and very scared. So we made it sort of my duty to come online. So the next day at 1:30 we did a live activity signing, and we'd sung the song. We did Bob Marley's Don't Worry About a Thing. So we signed it, and we sang it on the Tuesday, and then we went on the Wednesday and we just taught it to everybody. And it just became a routine. So at 1:30 every day, our members can switch on, and there's either a physical activity or there's a signed activity. So all our activities are always signed with Makaton. So it's a communication supported sign tool that we use. And we always sign, so it's either an activity or a song or something, and it's normally about 25 half-hour long, and it gives the parents a little bit of a rest, but it also gives our members some sort of normality, and that's really grown. So it started off with just our members, and now we've got people like all around the country joining us, which is really, really cool. So we're on musical week this week, so it's pretty crazy.
I saw some of the Greatest Showman. I think you was doing the other day. Some of the hits from that, which is going to be a winner for anyone. That's amazing what you guys are doing, and I can imagine you've been getting fantastic feedback as well. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, it's been really cool. Like, because obviously we're known down here, but it's really great because what a worry for most parents is, what am I going to do to keep my child active, to keep them learning things, and that's for any family as it is. And then if you throw additional needs or disability in the mix as well, the options are even more limited. So it's been really great trying to reach people and say, look, just come along every day. Sundays we have a rest, but every other day we're doing something. Come along and join us, or watch it later, and it's an activity then that you can do and keep busy and learn something as well. So we're really lucky.
And is it the same as the kind of stuff you'd be doing in the sessions when you see the adults, or is it something new you've had to learn? What does that look like for you?
It's similar. So our provision normally is 5 hours. Our members come in the morning. They do a physical warm-up, a voice warm-up, and then we have a visual plan of what we're going to do for the day. We normally have a movement or an exercise, a fitness session then to start off with. We have about an hour session there. Then we go in a workshop. So we do our literacy session and a money skills session. And that's always themed around something that they really enjoy. So we've done a whole section, a whole theme on Wicked, and the themes about Wicked and being a good friend and consequences and choices and different things like that. then we have a money skills session, and then we have lunch. And then after lunch, the guys really normally enjoy doing a social enterprise. So they've got their own little business where they do lots of different things. So they've designed bags, and then we've cut them out of through a vinyl cutter, and then they fabric paint them onto canvas bags. They've done Welsh slate hearts. They've done lots of different things that they really enjoy. And then it's up to them then what they make as a team, and then they decide on the profit and how much it costs and what they want to sell it for and different things like that. And the advertising and all that all comes from them. Wow. And then they have a choice then. They either have a drama session or a stretch session at the end, and we have a feedback, and then it's time to go. So it's quite different to what we normally do. We normally sign, we're known for signing lots of our songs or performance bits and pieces, but obviously they can't do the social enterprise at the moment, which they're gutted about, but they're really happy they don't have to do any of the literacy or numeracy.
Yeah, no, I get that. Really I get that. And so when did you start learning sign, and what prompted that?
So I picked it up. I used to be a teacher. So I used to teach in secondary school. So it's just come along really from the needs of our members. So if I was in school and there was a non-verbal child or student, I'd pick it up and I'd learn more from that. And it's just sort of grown from that really. I don't know all of the signs or anything, but if there's something that I need to know, I'll go and learn it. We tend to have, in some of our younger classes, we had quite a lot of students that were non-verbal. It was really important to me that I was able to communicate with everybody and not rely on a parent or a carer to translate anything. It was important that I had that communication. So I just went and studied and picked it up and did courses and everything, so that we've got that interaction, because that's really important.
What's the biggest feedback that you're getting from your clients at the moment? So, like, how are they feeling? What's the feeling that you're getting back from all of the members?
They're really enjoying the normality of having somebody there constantly. In scheduling, timetabling is really important to our members, and obviously that's all gone out the window.
Yeah.
So it's great for them to have that familiarity. So I think that that's really important for for the families as well. So we've had some great feedback that that everybody's waiting for 1:30 so that they can tune in, and they know at 1:30 that I'll be there and the rest of their team will be there, because we always refer to our members as a team. So we're all a team together, and that's really important. So if somebody, like on a Tuesday, our day provision is just ladies. It's just worked out that all the team members on that day are ladies. And if one of them shouts girls, we'll all look, whether it's a support worker, whether it's me, whether it's them, it works the same. We're all equal. And I think that is something that is really good, that, we're all a team, and they've still got connections with us, with that team, even in lockdown. And if they're feeling worried or alone, then they know at 1:30 they can tune in, or they know that they can go on Facebook and there'll always be an activity there that they can do. So yeah, I think that's really important, because obviously my sister's got Down syndrome. That's how I set all of this up. She's 31, and she is really capable, but she wasn't getting pushed or being given opportunities that would further her development. So I set up CanDo Hub, and she's now an instructor. She teaches with me. She teaches a brand, a fitness brand, and I think that is important. I always think, what could she do, or what would she feel? And she'll tell me if she doesn't like anything, or she'll tell me, that she's worried, or that she's on her own and she doesn't like this, or she's bored. And then I know that have to do it for her, but also there are going to be other people that are feeling just like that, so we can reach out more people. And I think that's had a really big effect on us, because it's a really closed-minded view that some people have, that they won't know anyway, like yes, their routine will change, but they'll be okay with it because they don't say anything. Some might not verbalize it, but they're feeling it. Everybody's feeling it. So for members that have a routine that they stick to rigidly and that's been thrown out the window, of course there needs to be something put in place. Otherwise everyone, if we feel like this, everyone's going to feel like it. Gotcha.
And I think routine is so important as well, just having any form of normality for everyone. We are, my business is doing stuff very similar to what you're doing for our members as what you're doing for your members. And we feel that the feedback we're getting, because we're keeping a level of normality for people, is kind of giving people a little bit of sense of comfort, even if they're not doing it and they're just watching it. They're just getting a bit of a sense of comfort, which is brilliant. Do you think that this is something that you could end up continuing doing moving forward?
I think so. I think people have really asked for it. I've had so many messages on our page asking whether I know of something in their area. Because there's nothing like what we're doing. And I've always said, I don't know, but I'll find out for you. And if there's not, for the time being, you can always join us online anyway. It doesn't matter where you are. So I think that some form of online content is going to be with us going forward. And with our members as well, we're going to be the last ones coming out of lockdown.
Of course.
Even though the school, like recently the news have just said this morning that additional needs pupils could be one of the first to go back to schools, but medically, quite a lot of those members aren't going to be able to go back to school or back to a sense of normality straight away. Essentially, we're going to be the last ones. So it's really important that there's something there, but also there's a lot of people with additional needs, especially adults, that once they finish college or they finish their provision that is available, there's not really a great deal around in a lot of areas. For some areas, there's a wealth of activities, and that's brilliant, but not always. And the activities may not be suitable for them. So I think that we're going to have to keep some sort of online activity available for people. But I think that holidays and school holidays, and I think every so often signing and making it sort of a routine that we come on and everybody does a session with us and see how it goes. It's really hard to tell what's going to happen at the moment.
The level of uncertainty is definitely causing heightened amounts of anxiety throughout definitely our local community. I know I'm feeling it quite a lot, and especially we're in similar fields when it comes to our job roles, if you like, and it's just knowing about, even if they were allowing it to be lifted, like certain areas of lockdown, whether I would even be happy to open up my doors right now, because although something might be allowed, I don't know whether I'll be happy to still go with it anyway, which could also then be, commercial suicide for my business. So I do feel this. I do feel what you're saying there as well, and I think what you are doing is filling a huge void, and I think a lot of people do need to get in contact and look at what you're doing, even if you do end up spreading what you do over the country with using outsourced instructors. So at the moment in your household, who's in your household then?
So it's just me and my husband.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we're quite lucky that we're not on each other's toes. We're not in the same room or anything. We're really lucky that we've got spaces that we can work and sort of not disturb each other when we're in our work zone, which I know for a lot of people is proven really, really hard. So we're really lucky. But I normally see my sister every day. And that is proven very difficult. So we FaceTime and she joins us on the sessions, but it's just not the same. No, it's really not the same.
So that'll be the first visit when this is all over. That'll be the first visit when this is all over. Then straight to your sister.
Straight to my sister. She's actually really gutted at the moment because of when we film. I film either we do lives on Facebook, so it's from our page and from our devices. And obviously, if I stream on the website, it's through our website as well. But she normally teaches with me, and we team teach. So she's not my best friend at the moment, because she's not teaching. So she's finding that tough. Yeah, she's finding that very tough. But we'll see.
You know, it's all for a great good. It's all for a great good at the moment, anyway. And you know, when we get out of this, you can say we're going to have a big party or something. I know that we're going to have a big party at our gym. So I don't know whether you guys at the centre are going to have a big party as well. So whereabouts are you guys located?
Whereabouts? Sorry, say that again.
Are you guys located?
We're in Swansea, so right down in Wales, down the south of Wales. We've got a provision there, and then we've got classes in the area. And then we help instructors all over the country. So we've got instructors up in the northeast, and we've got instructors down in Birmingham. We've got some down south, and obviously our trainings have been stopped at the moment because they're very hands-on, so we can't go online and teach them. So it's quite cool that we've got pockets of, you know, we've helped instructors everywhere so that there are more inclusive classes and more activities going around. But yes, down south in Swansea, where luckily so far the weather has been beautiful. There's been a few cold days, but most of the time it has been really lovely, which is sort of unheard of for Wales because it always rains. So yes.
And I know that apparently you guys like rugby in Wales. I've heard one or two of you.
We do.
What's that like? What's that like? Because I know your husband from school, and I played rugby with your husband from school. And what's that like on game day when it's England versus Wales?
Well, we actually met on England versus Wales about 13, 14 years ago. Yes, we did. So he knew straight from the start that I was a Welshie, and I was very passionate about my rugby. So it's always a sore subject when England loses, because he always has a strop, as most rugby fans do when they lose. But yes, it can get very heated. So we were very lucky because we had tickets for England-Wales just before lockdown. Yeah. So we went to the match. It was very touch and go. Do we go? Do we not go? And we took all the precautions and we went. And it was really good, but I didn't get the result that we needed. No. And my husband came away. But we're very competitive when it comes to rugby, and especially England-Wales, very passionate. Yeah. So yeah, it is a sore subject if England loses. It's not so much when Wales, I'll just have a glass of wine, whereas as you know, my husband, he's very competitive, and especially when it comes to rugby. So yes, it can be interesting in our house.
Oh, well, yeah. I was meant to be at the England-Ireland game, but I actually became quite ill in the same series, and I was gutted. I remember sitting there thinking, "Can I go still? Can I go still?" And I actually got I got food poisoning, and there's no way I was going to that. And it was the week before the England-Wales game. But yeah, but like I say, in Wales, it's rugby. Really, is just a way of life up there, isn't it? It's so big. It's wonderful to see, especially being a fan myself, and it's lovely to be around. And I can imagine there's a lot of people that are feeling that in the local community now as well, where you can't just go out and just throw a ball about.
Yeah, that's very true. Like the communities are still brilliant, because obviously, like, all the rugby teams, like my husband's part of one, and they've just got such a great community that they're all still in touch. They're all still doing putting on quizzes and different things to just keep in contact, but just not play. So I think that first match back, or that first training back, is going to be awesome. And I think everybody will just go there, because I think lots of people are feeling it, aren't they? People are feeling not only worried and concerned, but like all of their normality's gone out the window. So I think that the first thing, once everybody sees their families, is like, right, okay, what have I missed the most?
Yeah.
And just go there. I don't think I'll see my husband for weeks. I think he'll just be on the pitch.
I bet. You know what? I'd love to be able to come up to Wales and even throw a ball around with them again. It's been a very long time. In fact, we worked it out, next year it's going to be, 20 years, 20 years since I played rugby at school. So at the moment, when you're getting some of your members or part of the team getting in contact with you, and if they're feeling a bit uneasy, is there any advice or any words of calm that you're giving them to give them a bit of reassurance at the moment?
So we have put together sort of a list of what we can do when we feel sad or anxious. So we have some breathing techniques that we use. We also have one, because visualization can be quite difficult for some of our members. So we always have one with a lotus, which is really cool. So I don't know whether you want to try it. So whenever anybody's feeling like anxious or overwhelming, they put their palms together and then they focus on their hands. And what they do is just close each finger and just focus on the fingers. And this one seems to be one of the best things that our members are finding, because it just gives them a chance to just open out and reset and know that it's all going to be okay. So this is something that they use quite a lot. And it's a visual thing that they can just focus on if they're stressed or worried, and use it. And we've always said that, we have a group, we have a chat group on Facebook that anyone can go to and sort of help each other. So we have a video call on that so that we can all see each other. But most of the time, breathing and the different things like this, and knowing that it's all going to be over. It will be over, so don't worry. We're not going to see you again. You are going to see me again. It's not going to be the end of it. You see me every day. So you're going to see me that, and you can always get in touch with me if you need to. And we've just put some things in place that what can we do when we're feeling this? What can we do when we're feeling that? So breathe in, the hands, speak to our team, our friends, and know that it's all going to be over. It might not be very soon. It might not be in a week or 2 weeks, but it will be over and we'll all be together. And they cannot wait for a party.
Oh, yeah. You and me both. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. It's just about supporting everybody, isn't it? It's just about looking after everybody and just checking on the people around you to make sure that they're all okay too, but also giving yourself some time to think, well, actually I'm checking on all of them and doing all of this and I'm not actually giving myself any time. So it's just about taking care of yourself and everyone else, isn't it? And just being kind.
Yeah.
And I think that if everybody can do that, we'd all be in a much better place.
And I can imagine that must be so important. That message is so important, especially with what you do. That message is so important, and it's something that has been thrown around. It's a word. It's a saying that's been thrown around, especially earlier on this year, where there was some terrible news with celebrities taking their own lives, which was horrendous. But I truly believe now, while this is going on, the levels of kindness have jumped to what I'm seeing anyway, to levels that I've never seen before. Community spirit has gone through the roof. The appreciation for people that were invisible once upon a time has risen, which it needed to. And I think that ultimately people are being human, more human at the moment, which if we've ever needed it, now's the time. And it's lovely to be a part of, really, which is one of the take-homes I'm taking out of this entire environment that we're in at the moment. Yeah, which is, makes you reflect. So with some of the stuff that you've just done there, especially, I really like the Lotus there. You must do a lot of mindfulness training or do a lot of mindfulness work with the guys that you work with. Is there any kind of practices or is there any kind of materials that you've learnt or used in the past that help you out a lot?
Yes. So I came across mindfulness because I had life-saving surgery 7-8 years ago.
Right.
And I was put in a coma. And when I came out of a coma, I had a brain injury. So I was a teacher at the time, and I was teaching languages as well as PE and additional needs, and I lost my languages. It just disappeared, and it was very hard for me to cope. And I had a lot of sensory processing issues. I had a lot of problems. I couldn't deal with external noise. I couldn't deal with the noise of the fire. That was just overwhelming for me.
Wow.
So I looked into mindfulness and sound therapy because I was being given lots of different ideas and tools and counseling and stuff, and for some people it works, but for me it didn't. But I found mindfulness, and I found sort of sound therapy. Certain sounds would really help me just focus and switch off. So it was something that I looked into, and I did a lot of myself to get myself back to where I needed to be. And to just keep going, really. So a lot of the stuff that I do with our members is stuff that I found really useful when I had issues with sensory processing, issues with noise, issues with anxiety. All of the things that have worked for me, I pass on to my team, my members, and I think that it really helps, and it helps them as well, because it's like, well, actually, I was like, right, okay, this worked for me. It might not work for you, but we'll give it a try, and do something with them. And sometimes it will work for them, and sometimes it won't. But it's got to a point now with a few of them that would just go, I need 2 minutes, and I don't even have to talk them through it now. They just go, I need 2 minutes, and they go off to a corner and they put one of these strategies in place, and it's just awesome to see. It's brilliant. But mindfulness, especially in this time, is a godsend, and I think that everybody should give it a try.
God, yeah. I've spoken about it in a few of these interviews that I've done, because a lot of people have been coming back to mindfulness. Funnily enough, I think I'm a bit of a believer in, the vibrations of the universe, and people resonate on different frequencies and stuff. And I think that a lot of people will attract the same kind of mindsets. And a lot of people I've been attracting to doing these podcasts have been quite involved in mindfulness, been quite involved when it comes to exploring their own mental capabilities, and as well as trying to find their grounded self, which is something that I do try and do. And I brought a mindfulness coach in for my team to see how they got on, and it turned out within seconds we did a big group set. We've done about 8 therapy sessions all as a group, which was brilliant. And every time we'd go in there, we'd all end up asleep within minutes, just where we were just so fatigued, so tired, working so hard. It'd just be a whole room of people snoring, and to the point where you just kind of slowly wake up to just see the instructor just sitting there waiting for us all just to come back from our 5-minute kit, which was brilliant, and it's helped me so much. In fact, the lotus thing I'm going to use with some people I know, and the kids as well. They'll love that, because it does help with the overwhelm, and that's something that I've needed help with in the past. So just a quick one, when it comes to CanDo, where can people find what you do?
So we're on Facebook. We've got a page, CanDo Hub UK.
Yeah.
And we've also got a website as well. So our website is www.candohub.co.uk. But most of our lives are on Facebook. We've always got an activity going on at 1:30 every day, apart from Sunday during lockdown. We also, due to people asking, we started putting a YouTube channel up with just starting signing some of the songs, because if you join us for a live and you want to sign a song, or if you miss it, then you've got a good 10 minutes of catch up of everybody chatting to each other before we even get started on something. But it's something that they need. So we've got a channel now as well, CanDo Hub. So it's very early stages of that, where we've either got a movement or different things. But yeah, Facebook is where you can find us and join in anytime. And it's not just for people with additional needs. So like we've had people, from all backgrounds join us, because it is something they can learn during lockdown. It's something different. It's something that they think, oh, well, actually, I've always wanted to do this. So they're just joining us. I'm not a tutor or anything, but it's quite nice to just share each other's knowledge and just help each other out, I think.
Oh, amazing. Totally amazing. I've seen the work that you've been doing, and I spent the other night, I thought I'd just go on it and look for 10 minutes, and 45 minutes later I'm scrolling down watching another one. And yeah, I was obviously told to watch the Greatest Showman one with the curtain in the background as a bit of a showcase one, which was fantastic. Really, really good stuff to see. Very, very uplifting, and I take my hat off to you.
Yeah, because that one we did for there was an online disability show. So we did like 20 minutes where we did songs and movement from the Greatest Showman. So for example, tightrope, we had balance in there and the signing of the song. Then we had a dance for This Is Me. We had something with rhythm or scarves and different things. So it had a nice mix of everything without the chatter or anything at the beginning or the end, which we normally have, because it's important to keep that communication with our members. But yes, it's just something for everyone to just get involved with, isn't it? And especially if there's family members with additional needs, because it's not a great deal around at the moment.
No, there isn't, which is sad. But hopefully, in fact, not hopefully, I've got full, trust, and I do believe that you will start a bit of a movement with what you're doing. And I think that now is definitely the time where people are going to take notice and watch. And I think, it's amazing what you're doing. So if we could, if I could ask you just a couple of questions. So as we come towards the close of any of these interviews, I like to ask just a few questions about the person and what they've been up to. So first things first, what kind of take homes have you had out of the lockdown so far? What kind of things have you kind of learned about yourself, or it could be anything?
I think that we take so much for granted, that I think that the one thing I've taken away is how grateful and thankful I should be for the family that I have and the opportunities that I'm given. I think that is one of the most important things for me, is to be thankful for what I have. And I think that it's so easy to get wrapped up in life normally, that you don't sit and take stock of what you've got around you. And I think that is something that is really important. I think that's the biggest take home, is to be thankful for everything that we've got.
God, yeah, I can resonate with that on a very, very deep level. And what is now? There's a little question I would have warned you about right at the beginning, and that one's coming up. So if you had a magic walkie-talkie or a time traveler, and you could go back 6, 7 weeks, however long this has been. I think we're in week 7 now, I believe, or week 6. I think end of week 6, early week 7. What kind of information would you go back if you could say, look, Sam, this is coming. Just make sure you do this for me, or make sure you don't do that. What would you say to yourself?
To sleep. To make sure you sleep. I think the first few weeks I wasn't sleeping. I was just trying to get going 100 miles an hour, trying to get as much as I could ready to help all the members that we have. We've got fitness classes where we've got all different age groups as well, and I was just trying to juggle everything and not sleep. And I think that just breathe and sleep and everything will be okay. I think that would have to be the biggest one.
No, I like that. I struggled as well with the sleep in the early days, and thankfully I've got a mindfulness technique that helps me with that, which is body scanning, and that's been helping me loads. So no,
that is fab. Yeah.
Yeah, you're preaching to the converted, and that normally gets me off most nights. Off to sleep, yeah, that normally helps. So Sam, we're going to put all the links to your websites and your Facebook pages in the show notes of this podcast stroke YouTube video. What we'll do as well, we'll put links to your YouTube video as well for everyone to have a little look at that as well, because I truly believe what you're doing at the moment is amazing and revolutionary for what needs to happen for these very important people. Another thing as well, guys, if you guys have enjoyed this episode and you would like to share this episode with people that you think could probably benefit from it, please do share it on your social media platforms. We want to help as many people through these turbulent times as we can, and if you've benefited from it, why not share that with other people that can share in what you have just benefited from, one way or another. Also, if you have enjoyed it and you can keep it clean and you can keep it kind, please comment below or get in contact with me if you do feel like you need to be heard and you've got a story that needs to be told, okay? Because I'm still on a mission to be able to speak to over 100 people throughout lockdown, so we can document what's happening through these historical times. So thanks again for watching. Thank you, Sam, so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. And you stay on, but I'm going to press stop for everyone else. So see you later, guys, and thanks again.